Well, welcome to episode 2 of my 1996 endless ranking. probably be about 5 to 10 episodes straight of just 1996 movies. I have watched every single one of these within the last month and a half to 2 months, all over the place, and I have them all ranked. Like I said in my last episode, I had them all in one giant ranking as I've been watching them, but I decided to just take 10 out and do them in each episode, ranked in the episode, and then at the very end, when I've done everything I have from 96, I'll put up one final episode where I just showcase off each movie. I don't talk about them because I'm already talking about them here. I'll just show them in order of what I have the whole year ranked in. I'm just going to get right off to a start here. Probably won't be very long this episode because it's unbelievably hot in here tonight. And when I record, I have to turn my air conditioner off because it's so loud. And my freaking iPad picks up all the sound. I need to make some upgrades soon. But yeah, start right off here. This is The Arrival, starring Charlie Sheen. This is like a alien conspiracy kind of movie that I was kind of looking forward to watching until I watched it and realized, this is my number 10 of this episode, and realized that it's pretty damn bad. Charlie Sheen's acting's not great in this at all. Basically, he just works at a satellite company, and he slowly starts to discover that, like, an alien government conspiracy's been going on, and as he tries to uncover it, he's getting fired. He's looking like, it's just a typical alien conspiracy, but just, oh man, it was brutal. Like, I think I gave this like a 1 star out of 5. Like, it was not great. This is completely skippable. Wouldn't even waste your time watching this one. Like, unless you're like so into government conspiracy movies, then maybe, but not good. I'm just gonna glance right over that one. And number 9 for this episode, this is a 4-pack. This is the only way I could get any of these movies on Blu-ray, and that was to buy them in this 4-pack here from Miramax. This is from the Children of the Corn collection, but this is Children of the Corn 4, The Gathering. This one right here. This is the 1996 one. And this actually had a few familiar faces in it. It kind of caught me off guard. Like Naomi Watts was in this. She's the lead. Man, who was the other people? Like Karen Black is in this. A couple other like faces you've seen before, but the fact that Naomi Watts was the lead was crazy. This is like first time watch of any of these Children of the Corn sequels. I've honestly only seen maybe 3 of them. And this one, it had potential. It really did. They went a sci-fi route. Sorry about that. I got this new chair and it's a bit squeaky. I'll have to put some grease on it. It's really hard because it had some good potential. Like, some of the kills were okay, but like because the filming is so cheap, it takes away from a lot of it, if you know what I mean. Like, the movie could have been so much better if, to be honest, if it just had some better people working on it. I know that's stupid to say, but like, the storyline wasn't bad. I didn't mind it. It adds like some sci-fi element to, I know the other ones have sci-fi elements already, but this one's more like a curse, basically. Yeah, like, this 4-pack's awesome. well, I shouldn't say it's awesome. The movies are, this is the first one. Oh no, forget it. I've seen Children of the Corn 666, Isaac's Return as well. That's included in here, but I don't need to get into any of those. I'm just talking about Children of the Corn 4, The Gathering. Yeah, it is what it is with these. If you've seen any of the sequels, you know what you're getting. It's just like straight to DVD, almost TV movie feel. With this one, actually had okay acting because it had Naomi Watts and she did a pretty decent job. But I would say pick up this 4-pack because it's a nice way to have these 4 movies in your collection. I believe it's all 4 of them on one disc, so the picture and sound ain't the greatest, but it wasn't bad either. It was decent. But yeah, that's my number 9 for the episode, Children of the Corn 4. And my number 8, this one I watched with my daughters, and we actually all kind of enjoyed it. It's Flipper, starring a young Elijah Wood and Paul Hogan. Loved Paul Hogan when I was a kid. I used to love the Crocodile Dundee movies. Thought he was hilarious, and he actually does a really good job in this as well. This is for anybody that hasn't seen it. It's nothing you really haven't seen before if you've seen anything like Free Willy and movies like that, any sort of like animal rescue movie, but Elijah Wood is forced to go live with his uncle Paul Hogan here for a summer, and he's kind of a rebellious teenager that's getting in trouble and pissed off that his parents are divorced, and so it's like a coming of age, so sort of like he's swimming and this dolphin. At the beginning, it shows this dolphin's family being hunted by the bad guys, and it's the sole survivor dolphin, and it swims to where Elijah Wood is, and he basically takes it on as a pet, and he becomes friends with it. It's your typical kids movie, like just good feeling movie, but it had some decent comedy in it, had a good heartfelt story. Had some fun moments with the live dolphin. But yeah, if you haven't seen Flipper and you just want some lightheartedness, turn it on and enjoy yourself some animal film. Next up here, this is a comedy starring Eddie Murphy. This is number 7 of this episode. This is The Nutty Professor. I remember watching this when I was younger, and I actually liked it quite a bit. But upon this watch, oh yeah, I'm going to check and make sure I didn't miss any digital codes, because I remember saying on my last episode that if any movie I do going forward has a digital code, I will give it away on my channel here. So far, these first 4 don't. Yeah, so Nutty Professor at number 7. This is hard too. Like I like the story. It's got a good, positive message story. Like, Eddie Murphy. Like, the best part in this movie, I think, is when Dave Chappelle is a stand-up comedian and Eddie Murphy, the Nutty Professor, he, for anybody that doesn't know the storyline, I guess I should give a quick sum up. He's a big fat professor. Jada Pinkett Smith comes to his school as a professor herself and shows a liking to him, and he doesn't like himself, so he takes this experimental drug that he's been creating, and it makes him skinny temporarily, so he turns into Eddie Murphy without the fat suit. But when he does that, it's a whole different person taking over, and he's like just a obscene like douche, basically, the skinny version of himself. So it tells a story of just kind of accepting yourself, kind of thing, that heartfelt story there, but whenever he's Eddie Murphy version, he's quite funny. And he gets into this battle, like jokes battle, at a nightclub with Dave Chappelle. And it's just a back and forth, and they're just kind of slamming each other with jokes. And it's pretty good. I like that section. But yeah, it's a must-see. If you haven't seen Nutty Professor, you should give it a watch. Like, it spawned a sequel. It's got some, like, fart jokes, and, like, there's some humor that really feels silly. But I giggled at that sections. Like, it was just a light laugh, but there was then some parts that I actually laughed out loud. So it takes my number 7 spot for this episode. And then, next up at number 6, this is from a 5-pack Jean-Claude Van Damme movie I have. It's 5 of them on Blu-ray here. But this is Maximum Risk. Doesn't show it on the cover, but it's the middle one. It also stars Natasha Henstridge. I remember watching this one when I was younger, but I didn't remember anything from it whatsoever. Like, nothing at all. So this is technically a first-time watch, really. I didn't remember a thing. Sorry, I already have sweat pouring down my head. That's how brutal it is in here. This is a typical Jean-Claude Van Damme action movie. It's very middle of the pack. It doesn't do anything that's just awesome, and I have to tell you about it. It doesn't do anything that's terrible. Like, it's just run of the mill. He gets mixed up. He finds out that his brother's been killed, and he didn't even know he had a brother. I'm gonna light a smoke. He didn't even know he had a brother. So he gets sucked into his brother's life that he didn't know while investigating what happened to him. And it's like gangsterish with some decent action scenes. I enjoy this more than your average person probably would, just because I like Jean-Claude Van Damme a lot. So that's why it's got my number 6 spot. But yeah, just a basic sum up. So what I just said there is pretty much all you really need to know. Next up here at number 5, I have, this is from Scream Factory. This is Thinner. This one just came out not too long ago. I picked it up. It still had the slip too, which was nice. Which means nobody bought it. Which I guess isn't a good sign, but I bought this probably 2 to 3 months after it was released, and it still came with a slip cover, so it means Amazon didn't sell out of slips. But yeah, Thinner. Anybody that's seen this, it's Stephen King, like, made for television movie. It's a big fat dude, and he wrongs some gypsies, and they put a curse on him, and he slowly starts losing weight at you're gonna die levels. And it's basically just a thriller. Like, it's not great, but it's not bad either. Like, I enjoyed myself through the whole movie. I wasn't bored once. Like, it kept me sucked in the storyline. But it is that simple. He's cursed, and he's trying to figure out how to stop the curse. And it feels almost like a Supernatural episode, like the TV show, or an X-Files episode, or something like that. That's what it feels like to me. But I enjoyed it. There's some good stuff in here. If you haven't seen Thinner, check it out. You might even get a slipcover with it if you order it still. And then up next at number 4 here, this is an Adam Sandler movie. My first Adam Sandler movie of this year. There's another one coming in on a later episode, but I decided to include this one for this one, and this is Bulletproof. This is Adam Sandler and Damon Wayans. Good duo here. It's like I want to say it's a buddy cop movie, but it isn't. It's like Adam Sandler's a criminal, and Damon Wayans is an undercover cop, and he's infiltrated. He's made best friends with Adam Sandler, and he busts him, and then corruption ensues. FBI agents and stuff end up being corrupt, and they're trying to kill Adam Sandler before he can give away the higher ups in the criminal organization. But then it becomes like a buddy cop movie where they're trying to get from point A to point B alone, and just lots of comedy and fun parts. There's the best section of this movie is in like a cabin that they rent for the night. Him, Sandler and Wayans, and there's a lot of great comedy sections in there. Like there's a moment where Adam Sandler's trying to sneak out of a window while he's pretending he's showering, and Damon Wayans comes and sneaks up and sticks his gun right up Sandler's ass, bare-assed, and he's half out the window. And then the owner of the motel walks by the front, and it's just Sandler like hanging out the window. He's like, "Get it out of my ass!" And it just looks like they're having sex. It's funny. I know it's immature, but it's funny. And then, he's got a porno on at one point, and he's like trying to annoy Damon Wayans, and he's just like, "You know how you can tell this is a '70s porn? Because the guy's dick has sideburns." It's just silly comedy like that. But it's funny. Has a decent ending, has a tiny little twist at the end. It's just your typical action comedy. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It's not as high up as the other one in my overall rankings from Adam Sandler for that year. Next up here at number 3, I have Swingers. This is great comedy duo here. They've done multiple movies together. I had never seen this one. I always heard highly praised from people, and for the most part, it delivers. I did find myself getting a little bored at times, but the comedy is like, it's well done. Like it just feels like a really well made comedy movie. Like it isn't just slapstick. It's like, it's just smart humor and pretty solid, like overall storyline. Really, like Jon Favreau, his character. Jon Favreau's character is, his wife left him, and he just can't get over it. So he's going out to clubs every night with Vince Vaughn and some other friends, and just trying to get over his ex-wife, basically. And it's got some sad moments, it's got some pretty good dramatic moments, it's got some solid comedy moments. It's not as good as I was expecting it to be, though, just because there was some times where I was just kind of getting bored of what was happening, but then it would suck me back in a couple minutes later. But yeah, this solid movie. That's why I made my number 3 of this episode. You'll find out at the end of all my 96 episodes what all these are overall for me for the year. Next up at number 2, this is one of my favorite Christmas movies of all time, just because I watched it when I was pretty young, and that's Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jingle All the Way. Pretty solid Christmas movie here. Anybody that hasn't seen Jingle All the Way should definitely give it a watch. Oh, there is a digital code in this one, but I do not think this would still be active. It says it expired in 2019. I will throw it up there for anybody that actually wants to attempt it. If you're a digital movie collector, I hope that, like, my iPad's really bad at like focusing. Do have to get an upgrade eventually. Bulletproof, I don't think I did. No. Yeah, Jingle All the Way. It's a great Christmas movie. Like, it forgets his son's gift, so he basically becomes the gift by the end. Just lots of quick comedy. It's got some good action scenes. Sinbad is actually pretty funny in this. It is Sinbad, right? Yeah, it's Sinbad. Phil Hartman's in this. Does a good job. James Belushi has a smaller role. He's pretty funny in it. But mostly it's just Schwarzenegger and his son stealing up all the camera time. Just a fun Christmas movie. If you like movies like Elf and stuff like that, this goes right along with it. And then I decided to include the biggie for 96 in this episode. I only have this on Blu-ray. I haven't upgraded to the 4K yet. I do have this a couple different times because I have packs that have it included in it. And that is The Big Dog Scream. In my opinion, one of the top movies of the 90s in general. So this is my number one for the episode. I will leave it as a surprise on whether or not it holds the number one position for the entire year for me. But what can you say about Scream that hasn't been said 1,000 times? It's, to me, it redefined the horror genre in the 90s, which was well needed because before 96, the horror, like from about 91 to 95, is pretty rough in my opinion for horror movies. There's like a couple each year that are standout, but nothing that's like genre defying. Nothing that could be considered a top-notch horror movie. So this Wes Craven delivered a masterpiece in my opinion with Scream. An ensemble cast of all kinds of future stars and up-and-comers. Unbelievable everything. I love everything about the original Scream. I think it's one of the best slasher movies of all time. I've never done my top slashers of all time, but I'm pretty sure it would it would be top 10 for me of all time. I just love it. I think everything about it's great. It's why it spawned so many sequels. We're still going now. What's it been? It's 20... Oh, my math ain't good tonight because I'm so hot. What's it been since 96? 2024. What was that, like 28 years? How long? It's been 28 years. 20 years would be 2016. And then 8 years to 2024, so 28 years since Scream came out. That's freaking crazy, man. Does that make you feel old or what? Coming up on a 30th anniversary for Scream. Whew. Jesus. Yeah, so there's my 10 for this episode for 96. I'm slowly just knocking my pile off, and I still have some that I'm watching from the year. That's why I did it this way, because I wasn't nearly done the year, because I have so many, and I didn't want to just keep putting episodes off forever, so I figured to do it this way, it'd be funner. But yeah, that's my 10 for this episode. Pretty solid stack. Like, the only one I would say is not even worth your time is The Arrival. Like, I would just stick that. I wouldn't even worry about that at all. But every other one movie here is definitely worth your time. Like, they're all, of their genres, they're all good. I enjoyed every single one of them. Can't wait to bring you another 10 in a couple days. So, thank you for joining me, and I will see ya. Actually, I'm going to say one more quick thing for anybody that's watching. Tomorrow night, so I'm recording this on a Monday, so I'm probably going to get this up tonight. So, tomorrow night, on Tuesday, at 7 o'clock, I'm going to be on Our Life in Horrors live stream here on YouTube at 7. And we're going to be talking physical media and stuff like that. So it's going to be fun. If you're bored and have nothing to do, tune into that. But yeah, thank you. Talk to you in a couple days.